Hi, good afternoon. My name is Roslyn. What's your name?
Hi, ma'am. I'm Edison Bonagra.
Hi, Edison. Can I call you Edison or Ed?
Yes, ma'am. But you can call me
Okay,
Ma'am Ed.
all right. So, Ed, can you let's start with something simple. Tell me something about yourself first.
So I am an optimistic person who has enthusiastic outlook on life. I love my profession and I get a great sense of achievement from seeing my students develop and grow as an individual. If I can have a positive impact on their future, I feel I am doing my job well. I am an effective communicator, both written and verbal, and I have a strong ability to plan and organize effectively, something which is crucial to the role of a competent teacher. I cope very well with pressure and can adopt my style or teaching methods when needed to deliver consistent results. I am someone who always implements effective behavior management processes in a classroom and strive myself on an ability continually developed both personally and professionally.
All right. Okay. So can you tell me more about your strengths, Edison?
My strengths are being reliable teacher that teaches the students not just the lesson but also teaches them to be a competent learner, being on a focus on the task in hand, carrying out my work competently and diligently, and also being enthusiastic and motivated about each task. I am highly effective and efficient at being able to work under pressure. For example, in my previous training in Department of Information, Communication, and Technology, I was trained to complete my tasks every day or weekly. This training helps me to be motivated in doing things ahead of time and makes me manage my time effectively. Aside on aside on my training, I was teaching in private school that gives me a lot of subjects to prepare on. So if I failed to do the things or the task, my training, my teaching career, and also my students will suffer. So I learned to multitask effectively and efficiently and plan my work to ensure each task was completed on time and in line with the standards given.
Okay, all right. Yeah, that's pretty comprehensive. So, if you can also be very comprehensive and honest with me in terms of your weaknesses, can you share some of your weaknesses?
Well, my weakness is when working on a task efficiently, and if accomplishing it depends on the output of the others. I find difficult at times waiting for the others to come back. And of course, accomplishing the work or the task depends on them. I have that. I think that is impatient at times, and sometimes my colleague told me that I am pushy at times. And eventually, I apologize to them for being pushiness to them and get the task done ahead of time. And I am now learning to be impatient, but I guess I will always have this urge to get the job done as soon as possible.
Okay, all right. Well, that's the most important of it. You need to get the job done. Okay. In terms of being a lifelong learner, do you consider yourself as a lifelong learner? And if yes, Ed, are you currently studying at the moment?
Um, Teaching is a lifelong learning process for me to be able to share more knowledge and impart more attitudes and skills for the future of the children or the students. I never stop learning. So as a teacher, I never stop studying. I am attending training in the ICT as English, a second language in jobs and businesses. This will help me a lot to gain more knowledge and skills in teaching English online. Also, I am currently enrolled in Bicol University Graduate School with a degree in Master of Arts in Mathematics Education. And this will also serve as the roots in imparting knowledge to my students. And lastly, I attended different seminars or webinars to continually develop my skills and knowledge personally and professionally.
Okay. So you said that you're teaching in mathematics, you're studying mathematics. In terms of ESL, Ed, how long have you been an ESL teacher?
Yes, ma'am. So I currently never had an experience in working as an ESL teacher, but I'm so excited and looking forward to have an experience teaching online, especially an ESL teacher, and be part of an industry that will help online learners with their studies.
Okay. Well, since you said that you're a newbie, what made you decide to become an ESL teacher?
So what made me decide, aside from being from having a flexible time, it makes me decide that everything works online. Like,
Okay, all right. Okay. Since you said that you're pretty much just started your ESL journey, what particular specialization did you choose, or what particular niche did you choose?
so my freelancer services specialization is an online ESL that cater all teens. I have already experienced teaching teens for almost 5 years, but not online. And it would be easy for me to cope with their attitudes and needs. But still, I'm not closing the opportunity to teach other niche because I always believe there is an opportunity around us.
Correct. Okay. Um, okay. In terms of this project, I will be requiring you to work at least 20 hours per week. Now, that would be roughly around 4 hours per day because we have 5 days of working business days. So, is there a problem for this particular time, or are you available?
There's no problem about that, ma'am. I could definitely be available to work at least 20 hours per week.
Okay. All right. Because you said earlier that you're still you have a day job, right?
Yes,
Is
ma'am.
that right?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So all right. So it's okay for you to be working 20 hours per week. I'll just put a note here.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. In terms of you handling your class, let's say you have a student that is not attentive during class, how do you handle these students?
So handling a large class is challenging for me, but not new at all. So if the students are not attentive in class or in my class, I always use the 5 ways. I always have the 5 ways now in getting
Mm-hmm.
their attention. First, make sure to look at him or her eye to eye. And second, if the student is continuously not attentive, I walk behind him or her chair to make them aware of their behavior. Third, to get their attention is by touching or tapping their shoulder so that they will be aware of their unnecessary behavior during class hours. And fourth, if it is recitation time, um, I hold them first to recite. And lastly, if it's still the students is inattentive, I talk to him or her after the class and tell him or her the unnecessary behavior he or she showing during the class hours.
Okay, all right. So those are pretty much when you're in a face-to-face setting. However, if we're going to be teaching online, we cannot tap the shoulder, right? So
Yes.
how are you going to handle if in case that your student online is not really very attentive or not participating?
All right. So students nowadays, ma'am, are very fond of singing, and also they are fond of listening to the stories. So maybe one of the two methods I can use to get their attention. Maybe I could sing a song that could get their attention, and also I could read a poem or a readings that could make them aware that they are not listening.
All right. Okay. Okay. So in terms of parents, okay, when we're going to handle ESL teacher, some of the parents is also present during the lesson. So sometimes when the student makes a mistake, they automatically correct them. Now, when you're asking your student to recite or to participate, they're not participating anymore because they get scared that they will make a mistake. So, how are you going to handle these parents and the situation?
So if this situation happens, it depends on the way the parent is battling. If it is for the welfare of this child, then it would be very glad for me that the parent is still behind their success. But if it is against my discussion, I will talk to the parent personally and explain to him or her that in order to the students to be focused and to learn, we need a one-on-one or privacy between us as the tutor and the tutee in the working area.
All right. Okay. Mm, let's see. Because you said that you just started ESL. What is your long term goal, Ed, in terms of being an ESL teacher?
So as an ESL teacher, ma'am, it is my dream to have a permanent duty for me to see his or her progress in the future. And of course, to have my own online tutorial studio.
All right. Okay. So also, Ed, when we're working with other people, it's there's always room for an argument or disagreement. So there's always room for negative feedback. So how do you take negative feedback?
So we should not take it negatively. Instead, use it or take it as a criticism for improvement. For me, it would be very helpful to receive negative feedback because in that way I could see my progress or improvement.
Right. Okay. 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 I think I've pretty much asked everything that I needed from you. Do you have any questions for me or about the project?
I don't have any questions regarding this project now. I am just looking forward to get a job and will help the students with their needs.
All right. Okay. So thank you for coming in today. We appreciate your time. Please check on your email at least a day or two from now. We will be deliberating everything, all the interviews that we've done today, and you'll be just will be releasing if you got in within a day or two.
Yes.
Okay. So all right. So bye, Ed. Have a
Bye,
great
ma'am.
day.
Thank you, ma'am.